Wow, 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 bow. Dun, 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 bow, bow, bow. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Game. All right. Load it. Yep. So at this point, I believe in my StarCraft career, I guess you could say, I was going ahead and actually going to be focusing on trying to make sure that the builds come out good. Like I was trying to focus on refining my build, the same build I've been doing, I believe, but I was trying to make it a little tighter, a little meaner, and then and you can see from this. Oh wait, we need to follow me. Of course, we gotta keep up the perspective, make sure everything looks good and all that. Um, and I'll go ahead and actually pull up my Twitch chat because I can go ahead and view the chat while I do this a bit. I can kind of see if you guys are talking about anything. Um, Nothing yet, obviously, but as you can see, we're just kind of doing the standard. We're building supply depot. We're making sure our macros keeping up nicely. Uh, we're saving up money for, I assume it's going to be the engineering bay and refinery again, but obviously we'll see as I'm going ahead and, of course, building some stuff. Now, I noticed in this game we're actually fighting a Protoss. That's kind of cool. It's a bit different. So we're doing it. Oh, I saved up my money to, at the same time, do a barracks and supply depot. Okay, so I think this is the beginning of the build that I actually wanted to cover. Now we're getting into, okay, so we got past the learning stage, right, of like, okay, I'm getting used to the system, the rhythm of how this is going to work, how I do everything. And now I'm doing like a double gas thing. Oh, Lord. So there's no, oh, I forgot to turn the production tab. I'm so sorry. So now we have the complete wall off, which is good. We did stop the early scout, and I've been finding I like this style more, where you block off your ramp entirely, so they can't get any scouting information, so they can't count your gas and see if you're going high tech or doing a massive, infantry like bio, which is good for me. Not all builds are like this. Sometimes people just don't really care, I think, which is a bit odd. And then the engineering bay goes down. Because again, this is my style, right? I was trying to think like, okay, so everyone does something different. And when I was getting into it, getting back, I wanted to make my build do something fun. So I was like, okay, why don't I just do fast engineering bay? So that way, I mean, also, it's nice because you can get turrets. I think you can have DTs coming at you, or Void Rays, or
Add-on is
Oracles,
done. Doesn't that look fancy?
which is good. And then you go ahead and get the Marauder out right away. So in this game anyway, I should say, I went ahead and went straight for a Marauder. So when you get the Marauder right away, that really allows you to, you know, it allows you to be more aggressively defensive, I guess is the word I would use. And you'll notice I'm switching over between my stuff. I'm not really utilizing my hotkeys the best. That's another thing I will say is that if you're struggling to get out of like your placement matches, get up to bronze or silver or gold, get out of bronze, out of silver, at least get into gold, you got to be using your hotkeys. And if you're not using hotkeys, you should probably learn them. As you can see, my hotkeys are set up so that way they don't change no matter what's in the little tab at the bottom. So that way everything, Q is always the top left corner, W is always the middle corner, that's just how I do it. And notice I have my hotkey set up for my buildings, barracks on 1, factory on 2, command center on 4, although I always find that I tend to forget to
Research
use my
is done.
command center
Let's
hotkey,
hope you click the right one.
which is a bit disappointing that I'm not doing that.
The add-on is finished, so you have no excuse not to build something.
And we're going to be getting our 2 Hellions, we're getting the barracks. Upgrade is, of course, being started. I made the wrong building there for a second. I wanted to get a reactor so I get more Marines because I'm already making Marauders constantly. And then I realized, oh no, I'm supply block, because that's kind of the theme. But this time I just call down the special supply so that way I can keep up my stuff. Because I noticed that from my last game that I played, that I realized that getting supply block really kind of sucks. And I don't want to like miss out on my troops. So then I push out with this weird little force. It really doesn't make much sense. I saw the probe, and I was like, oh, I better kill it. These saw my troops anyway, so may as well. And then we just kind of push down.
Done. Doesn't that look fancy?
And it's kind of a weird way weird thing to be doing, because Hellions and Marauders, they're kind of the oddballs of the Terran army, right? Because your core is like Marines and tanks, right? Those are the pros like to use. That's pretty standard stuff. But in this build, I was going Hellions and Marauders. I think I was doing that because at the time I actually watched
Research
some old gameplay from 20. Oh, and I didn't micro also. That's another thing to note. No micro at all. But hey, at least I'm making Marines now, right? I'm doing that. I'm still making Hellions because I'm a bit silly. But on seeing the Void Ray, I'm pretty sure I would have. I think I at least wanted to get turrets, right? Did I get turrets? Yeah, I think I got turrets, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to do that. And you keep in mind, I am keeping my money low. I'm doing my best to make sure that we're spending our stuff. But you'll notice I'm also not taking an expansion. I've just made my armory. Oh, right. I kept making Hellions because I want to make Hellbats. Because I think I figured that Hellbats would probably be good, and I'm making a lot of Marines. You know, I'm just making Marines now instead of Marauders. Yeah. Because I think I figured that Hellbats should still be pretty good combo. And I even started my +1 vehicle weapons just to make the flames stronger. Which, for the record, is not what you're supposed to do. Well, I mean, it works. Like, it's okay, but it's like, you know, what I should have been doing, and this is something I will say I should have been doing in my build, is I should have taken that factory and swapped it with the Tech Lab barracks so that we were making Marines and we're making Cyclones. That's what we should do to counter a Void Ray player. And, you know, that's just my advice. That's what I would say is the big lesson to learn from this, is that if you see a Void Ray and you're still making Marauders and Hellions, probably not a good choice. And I think this was a bad choice by me to be making all these Hellions. I think I figured I didn't want to bother switching because I liked making two. I don't know. Like if you choose a style, you still want to kind of be true to it, right? If I pick a build and I'm like, okay, I want to do this, and then that's kind of what happens. So I go ahead and I push out, and you know, we're pushing out with what we have. And I kept them in Hellbat form also, just so that way I could I keep them all as a group because I want them to be in a big group together. And I was thinking, okay, we're probably going to go hit the third base, and if not, we'll just go for the expansion again. Then I saw that. I think I saw that. Yeah, I did. And I totally just sniped that Void Ray out of the sky, like, instantly. And then, obviously, I know there's an attack, like, he's going to come defend himself. Yeah. And then I order everyone else, I think, to just ignore them. Because, you know, I think I would do that anyway. That'd be smart. Because it's like, well, they can't shoot up, so I'm just going to attack. You know, get my use out of it, right? I'm going to go ahead and start flaming these probes. And, you know, you got to do something. And I saw them trailing that way, so I knew, actually, there'd probably be a third base.
Upgrade's done.
And then I come in here and I take a look.
Your units
and,
are augmented.
He doesn't have much stuff, actually. You'll notice I just kind of see that he's... And this also ended up delaying him a lot.
This better be good.
And obviously I was queuing stuff up back at home. I made a lot. God, I made so many more. Because I had like 1,000 minerals or something crazy. But I just made Marines and stuff. You'll notice, again, I was still playing bad. You know, I didn't add on more production structures. I didn't take an expansion. All bad stuff. And now that we're crossing 500, do I take an expansion finally? I think I finally do, yeah. At the 7-minute mark. That's pretty bad.
Coming through.
Like, to be honest, this is a pretty awful build that I decided to go. Especially against Void Rays. I think I figured, well, we invested in the Hellbats, and we got the weapon upgrades. May as well keep doing something, but I don't know, I could have even at least done Widow Mines, you know, something else.
Out of minerals. Idle workers are so...
And even go ahead and start throwing down more turrets, because I'm expecting a counterattack.
Coming through.
But we're going to go ahead and do our best to defend our expansion. We'll try anyway. You know, at this point, yeah, we're trying to get +2 for both. And as you can see, we are producing a lot, though. I mean, we're making Stimpak. You know, I'm getting upgrades. I'm not like slouching on stuff. I just didn't make more production structures. I think I felt like I didn't have enough money, but if you notice, the reason why I don't have enough money, one is because I don't have an expansion. Oh, did I do an attack A move? That's insane. That's just terrible. Do I win this? I don't think I actually win this game. I forgot. I forgot if I won this. If I did, I'd be shocked, because I have nothing. Like, I don't have any stuff. I don't even have, like, minerals for, you know, building the stuff.
Your research is done.
Am I finally swapping it? I think I go ahead and just cancel it, yeah. Ah, there we go. I got smart and I actually swapped it. No wonder I was thinking of that. I was like, why didn't I swap it sooner? And this is why, because I do swap it. I realized, yeah, we need just Marines. Like a lot of them. Oh, and I made Thor! Right! That's right, I made a Thor, because, again, I have the weapon upgrades, and I figured, why not?
Gangway.
So that's something you can do as Terran that I find really nice, is you can just switch over your structures to different add-ons, and then you can just make stuff to kind of what you see. And I saw a mass Void Ray, right? Because originally I saw, like, you know, one Void Ray, and then ground forces, but then now I just see, okay, he's just making nothing but Void Rays. And I was like, okay, so we're going to need Thors. And I think of Thors just not Cyclones, because the Thor has a lot of armor, and I want something that's going to be really tough, that's going to essentially distract the Void Rays while my Marines actually do most of the work, was kind of the plan. Which I thought was pretty good, of an idea, anyway, in my head.
Out of minerals.
So the first Thor pops out, and I immediately am like, okay, gonna need to buy another Thor, and I saved up for it too. You know, I was watching my money. And you'll notice my gas is just out of control. I really should be making more production structures that utilize more gas units, but I'm not doing that because I'm not very good, apparently. Oh, and is that +1 weapons? Yeah. So he's finally getting the +1 weapons. The Protoss is for his ships. You'll see armor 1, weapons 1. I'm already getting armor infantry level 2. I'm even getting vehicle and ship plating. So I'm getting the armor for the vehicles. And having the weapon upgrades already, I think I already had weapon upgrades. Yeah, I already had the 1 weapon upgrade. So, like, having that already researched would mean my Thors are going to do a lot more damage. And plus, I don't know, you don't see Thors that much anymore, especially with pros. You know, they're making tanks, making Marines, making medevacs. That's kind of the standard. Maybe there'll be ghosts if you're fighting Protoss. You know, I'm going to go ahead and make my supply depots at the wall. And you'll notice, supply-wise, he's crushing me supply-wise. Like, if you go to the unit counting tab, he's got 59 workers, and I only have 27. That's a huge difference. Huge, 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 huge. Okay? Like, really just insane. I go ahead and make more turrets, and I'm walling off my my main. Pretty bad.
Upgrade complete.
But if you notice, unit-wise, he only has Void Rays.
Mineral field depleted.
And I personally think he should have gone straight for the kill. I don't know why he waited so long. Again, I don't think he was very good either, because he's floating like 1,000 minerals and stuff, and you have to go with his production. He's just making 4 Void Rays. I am making more stuff.
You just upgraded your unit.
I even start level 3 weapons and level 2 weapons for my Thors. And I believe we're going to go ahead and do the big push in a moment to try and go for a win here. I think I was waiting, maybe I was waiting for another Thor. Not too sure.
Thor is here.
But at some point I was thinking, okay, we need to just make an attack and hope for the best. Also, in my mind, I was thinking I was actually doing pretty good, which apparently I was, because there's nothing but Void Rays. And you don't want to know something? When you make an army that directly counters Void Rays, like Thors and Marines, with, I don't know, the Hellbats were just there because leftover money, I suppose. But, you know, when you make an army like this... Oh, yeah, and I spotted it, too. And I think I come over here just because I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Is he, like, massing up somewhere? So I actually hung back, expecting there to be more Void Rays. And I did find one. And it's funny, in response to him seeing my build, he doesn't bother changing what he's making. This is a guy who's just making Void Rays. I think do I bring my Thors over? No, I'm just kind of hanging out, which lets me get another Thor out also to help out in the push.
Don't forget the rest of them.
Because yeah, if you do an all-air army, and the Terran player makes Marines and Thors, that should be a good indicator to make some ground troops of any kind. You know, make Immortals if you're worried about the Thors. Make lots of Zealots if you're worried about the Marines. You know, I even have missile turrets up. And I am spending my money. That's important to note. This is another big thing, is that this guy is like 3,000 minerals. He could probably, realistically, I mean, he's almost maxed out. He probably could take me out if he spent his money more. And, you know, if you look at the unit counting station, he's up to 59. He's stuck at 59 workers, but only 32 Void Rays.
Armed and ready.
And that's actually not too good against...
Your units are augmented.
Against what I'm doing here. He's getting a lot of bases, though. He's expanding like crazy.
Thor is here.
And again, this is very low-level games, obviously. We're not looking at top tier. you know, the videos I'm making are supposed to show off, you know, Terran play, Terran ideas, get everyone thinking, you know, and I don't know, be a little inspiring. Oh, and I got a nice speed boost there. Oh, he needed to pause, and the pauses and the replays automatically get skipped, so then everything was okay. And I was like, okay, sure. And then he was ready.
Upgrade complete.
We continued. So it's like he paused. He was like, wait, I gotta go do something. I was like, okay. And then he's like, okay, I'm ready to
Out of
play.
minerals.
I'm like, great.
Idle workers are
You delayed the attack for like a moment.
We could use some help.
And I'm not even necessarily like paying attention. I think I stim in here. And you'll notice the splash damage on the Thor from the Thors, like destroys
The spin guys are
them.
exhausted. It needs a long nap.
And then that's it. He just leaves. So that was it. I stimmed late, and that was really bad. But because he grouped all his Voiders together, the splash damage of the Thors allowed me to kill them, and that's the main reason why I won this. I'm not going to go over his build because this was a long game. I'm just going to go straight, and I mean, we know what he did, right? If you go to everyone cam, right? He's, you know, he's over here. He's taken like he's taken his 4th base. He didn't want this one for some odd reason. You know, he's saturated. He's doing everything right. The problem is he just doesn't have very many production structures. He could have made more stuff. 4,000 minerals. Actually, I didn't notice that. So that's just something to note. Again, you're learning, getting used to it. I'm going to have to relog into my Battle.net.